We are sending our invites. We need to find Mooney. I don't know what's going on with my voice. Mooney, where's Mooney? Moon Racer. Hey, Cat. Hey, Charlotte. We usually average about an hour, because Rizzy is on the West Coast, so her time frame goes a little bit. This is right around her dinner time, so. Hey, Sassy. Hello, hubby. Miss Evie, why are you not showing up? Essay's here too. Let's see if I can invite you. Why is it not allowing me to just invite you? Huh? Well, because it doesn't have the option to just invite her up, which is weird. Aha, I think I figured it out. Hey guys. Hello, ma'am. How are you?
Living the dream. How are y'all?
We're good. We're doing good. You just got done with an interview.
Well, it was Friday night, right? So I was the interviewer.
Right. Which is always kind of nice. Mm-hmm. You know? I'm just waiting on Miss Rizzy. I don't know if she's just running behind or not.
It's all good.
Yeah. You're like, I'm ready to be done.
Well, so I had gotten off Friday night rights a few minutes early because, I'm a smoker, so I had to go smoke. I had to go pee. My husband just rolled up with food, so I'm like, oh, no. And then he's like, babe, I need to talk to you. And I'm like, while I'm eating, I only have so much time.
This is not the time for that.
Mm-hmm. But we have teenage girls, so.
Mm-hmm.
Babe, should we be concerned about this? And I'm like, they're not as bad as when we were kids, so I think we're good.
We've got our two youngest I'm terrified. I'm terrified when they hit their teenage years.
They're either gonna go one of two ways. They're either gonna be like super angsty and just attitude all the time, or they'll be mostly sweet and independent and respectful, and unless you piss them off, and then
right. They already act like they're teenagers. Like I don't even, and they're 12 months and 4 days apart. So like the sibling rivalry is insane. Like
no, my girls, sometimes they act like best friends, and then sometimes they're arch nemesis. So
right. Well, and that's the thing. Like they can mess with each other, but anybody else gets involved, and it's downright. It's a brawl. It's a brawl. Yeah,
I think that's just siblings in general, though, because that's how my brother and I were.
Oh yeah,
no
same with mine. But that's the thing is like the two oldest boys, I give them so much credit. They have so much patience with their sisters. Like, they try so hard.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're big brothers.
Right.
I was the big sister, so it was a different kind of relationship.
I get it. I'm trying to see. I'm going to message her and see if she's running behind or what we're doing here. Otherwise, we will get started.
Mooney, you called it. I'm at 35 pre-orders.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he said 35, and I was like, I'd like to get 25.
Right?
And I was worried that I might actually would have had to pre-order it to push you over.
That would have been.
This is awesome.
I don't know about that. I've been relying very heavily on CapCut lately. I don't have the mental capacity to.
But that's okay too, because a lot of what I do is CapCut, because it's one of those things you work with what you've got, you know? I mean, it's because you have to decide and prioritize, you know, what is most important, your writing, you know, or your marketing, because we weren't born to be marketers. That's not what we do. We were born to write. So CapCut, I think, is a useful tool.
Yeah, I've also noticed the algorithm isn't liking me. Like, the closer I get to release date, the less views I get.
Yeah, so I figured this out with Gods, is if you put anything like release or any of that, there she is, any of that in any of your, because like that was part of why when I was doing the announcement for this live, I made sure to stay away from those words, because otherwise they will throttle the post every single time. It's crazy.
Hold on. Is it Anissa? I don't. I'm not sure. Agents of Balance and Chaos are a series of standalones. So each book you get different main characters, you get different storylines, different tropes, all that fun stuff. But it contributes to the bigger world that I'm building.
That's Bessie!
I totally forgot. I'm sorry, guys. I lost track of time. That new Descendants movie that my daughter's obsessed with came out on Disney Plus, and so we started watching it, and then my phone goes bloop bloop bloop. I'm like, oh crap!
I was like, where is she? I was so confused.
I'm here. I promise.
You're here.
That's my bad. I shouldn't have put that on.
Yay, Evie!
Right?
We got 3 more days. 3 more days.
I know. Are you getting excited? I'm getting excited.
I throw up in my mouth a little bit every time I think of it. No, I'm excited, as excited as I can be. Given the circumstances, kind of just ready for it to be out. It's already locked on Amazon, so no more changes. So I'm just gotta mark it and sleep.
Mm-hmm. And that's because, like, I mean, because I know you say, like, you were leaning a lot on CapCut, but you actually, like, your marketing was on point for this one. Like, it really, you know, even though, you know, like you're saying, is TikTok was trying to throttle it, like, you know, everybody is like, yes, Abyssal, it's here. We're so excited.
That's so weird. I know my friends are like, yes, but it's always, at least from my end, I only see the same, 5-6 people posting about it. So when someone's like, oh, it's everywhere, I'm like, where everywhere?
And that's the thing, because, like, even in our reader group, like, we announced this month that we were doing, because we did the Ever King, and then everybody was to get caught up so that they could be ready for Abyssal, and everybody was like,
is that why my KDP is
yes,
doing really good this?
Yes,
that's awesome. I checked it. I was like, damn, I'm having a good month. I wonder why.
You are our honorary indie author for the month of July. Yep. So the month of July, it's awesome. The indie is anything from you. Could be on Balance. It could be Leona. And if you haven't read book 1 or 2 yet, that way you can catch up, because Abyssal will come out on the 15th. We've been promoting that, so that way everybody can read Abyssal when it comes out. They all know what's going on.
Yep. Because, like, I hadn't had the opportunity to finish and, like, read, like, Leona like he did. He read Leona, like, pretty much right after he finished on Balance. And I'm like, I want to. So, like, I finished it this week. I, like, binged it. And I'm like,
I'm about halfway through.
Right. Well, and that's because we've been so busy. But, like, for you, the one thing that I noticed about Leona is like you did a really good job, in my opinion, of capturing the bear energy, right? Like every time she's like that, she's messing with Xandros, and like every time that I just envisioned this really powerful brown bear just being like very grumbly and being like, "Now we're doing it my way." Like I love it. Like, how did you get in that energy though?
Well, two things. I actually did a lot of research on bears. And while polar bears are the most dangerous, grizzly bears account for more attacks every year.
Yes.
Mostly it's because people are getting in their way.
Yes.
Just stay out of their way. I did a lot of research on bears. But also Leona is me. I put so much of myself into her. I was in the Army for almost 10 years, and I had to deal, while I met a lot of great people, don't get me wrong, some of my very closest friends are my Army buddies, but I did have to deal with a lot of men who were misogynistic, who were sexist, who basically would tell me to go, hey, shut up and color.
Right.
Or you obviously don't know what you're talking about, when I did. Like, I knew more than them. How are you going to tell me how to do my job?
Right.
But when dealing with your superiors, you can't be like, shut the fuck up. You just, Roger, sir. Roger, sergeant.
Right.
And, I mean, I would do what I was doing anyway because I knew I was right. Like, don't tell me what to do.
Absolutely.
I know what to do. But I couldn't kick their teeth in like I wanted. But Leona can.
Right.
And, I was a very, very angry person. I know some people say Leona's too much. No, Leona is perfect.
I think that it really embodies that brown bear though, like, because when she's dealing with Xandros, like you can, like I can envision that she's a bear shifter, because like she's not soft, she's not like all cuddly, she's not, you know, she's very, in many ways, very abrasive. But all of that is built around for like insulation to protect herself. And like, and you can hear that in her monologue. Like you hear her being like, you know, I don't want to be a caustic. Like, I don't want to be rough, but I've had to hold this because she's 1,000 years old. Yes. So she's had to hold that role forever, you know, and the experiences she experienced like way when she was younger, those informed who she became. And so then she's been holding that mantle for 1,000 years and having to be this very tough woman in a world that's not made for women.
Yeah, exactly. No, and that's the thing too, is and that goes back to real bears. You know, like male bears, you know, they always talk about the mama bears, right? Mm-hmm. And mama bears are super fierce. They're protecting their cubs, but the reason they have to do it is because male bears, a female bear who just gave birth to cubs will not go back into heat until those cubs are fully raised and gone. So male bears will turn around and unalive cubs to force the female back into heat. And so I brought that along with the human misogyny and sexism together. And it was basically like, they don't necessarily, it's not that they hate women, it's just, you're not a man.
Well, and that's
you're not a man. And now you have a woman in charge.
Yep. Well, and you really do a very good job of like, kind of laying it out to, even when she experienced the things she did that kind of created who she became, it was because the world was a different place. You know, and like you really like you explore that a lot and how the roles have changed, but also like her reaction to Xandros, where she's like, I don't want to depend on you. Like I don't want to open myself up to that, and I really enjoyed that. Like I did.
Well, that's just a normal trauma response. You know, the people that tend to do everything themselves, that don't like asking for help, it's because the times they have reached out for help, they were told to fuck off.
Yes.
Or slapped down.
But like Xandros is like, no. And he still shows up. And like, I enjoy that. Cause like he and I were having a discussion the other day where he like, you know, he was a little irritated because Xandros was very gullible, but at the same time, like Xandros still like when he makes the mistake, he does. he's like, he goes to Leona and he's like, I did make a mistake and I am sorry and I'm not going to do that again. I'm going to do what I can, whatever I need to do to like keep you safe and protect you. And like, I look at that and I admire that energy where he was like, no, I don't think that's acceptable.
and with Xandros' mistake, I mean, one, the god played on his fears.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he worded things in such a way, because the gods are completely different than humans, regular immortals, and he played on the fears that were kind of already in the back of Xandros' head, and even though he knows Leona can take care of herself, it was to protect her. He made this deal to protect her, and in his mind, doing what was attempted that's not protecting her. Right? The god breaks the deal, but the god is just like, well, she's fine. She's gonna be fine. She's immortal. I didn't take her head.
Exactly. And then Xandros does what he does because he's like, no.
Yeah.
No, I like that. Now, I'm curious because obviously book 3 is it Thea?
Yes. Theodora.
Right.
Love the name.
Right. Are these characters that we've seen already, or are these going to be completely new characters? Because I tried recalling, but I couldn't remember them. Okay.
Completely new characters.
Are we going to see our first 2 lovebirds in this one?
Yes.
Did you say that they are original 2?
So you do see them. It's going to be, I think there's only 2 chapters from Sebastian's point of view, and they're short chapters. But you do see Sebastian and Lucy. So in Leona, I talk about how Sebastian wants to create a special team that is separate from the Guardian Elite. And so our male main character, Donovan, in Abyssal, is part of that team. So you do see him interacting with Sebastian. I'm going to let y'all know, Donovan is a dick. All right? He is... How did Cassie put it? That he has so many red flags, he has his own color guard. He does not respect Sebastian and his authority. Like, he calls him Goody Two Shoes, Saint Sebastian. He's just constantly being condescending about it. But he works for that team, and they are on the lookout for the next Oracle. They don't know who it's going to be, so they have all these members watching potential witches. And he just so happens, because, plot armor, he just so happens to be watching the next Oracle, Theodora, who is, coincidentally enough, she is working as a psychic, but she does not have any magic power. She's a con artist, so she uses the hidden speakers, hidden wires, has her friend... Googling clients, looking at their Facebook so she can, figure out what's going on. Then she gets hit with the real vision of the future, and Donovan, according to her, kidnaps her and brings her in. And then the person that they were going to have train her doesn't show up. And so Donovan catches Thea trying to learn magic the wrong way.
Yes.
And so
the blurb says,
so he does not, he isn't like, oh no, you could hurt yourself. Let me fix this, right? Because he's a dick.
Right.
His thinking is, well, if I get her started, give her some spells to practice, then she'll owe me one. And then it's just downhill from there.
Right. Well, and like in the description, it pretty much says, he doesn't want to be responsible for babysitting her. And I think that I just find that hilarious because you can already tell that there's going to be this contention between them. And I'm here for the angst. I am absolutely here for the angst. Even though
love it.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, this is about a toxic relationship.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm here
boy.
for it. Gimme.
Boy. Right? He's like, I'm here. I'm going to eat
the toxic the better, babe. Because I love those kind of stories because when they start out like that and there's so much clash and so much friction and so much just, and then when it finally hit that.
That's the thing though. It's, I call it unintentional grooming.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
So like he starts out
You're like, and?
right, because like I said, this was not intended of, oh, I'll train her and then I'll get into her pants, and
Right.
it was simply, I'll teach you a few things and then I'm gone, deuces. But as he's training her, he's like breaking her bones. He's
Oh boy.
pointying her.
Right.
Like there's an attempted drowning. Like he straight up abuses her, and when she questions it, he was like, I'm training you. Do you think your enemies are gonna go easy because you're a girl or you just learned your powers? No, this is the real world. He like straight gaslights her the whole time.
Because you've been, like, we were talking about the fact that you were in the military for 10 years. And I would imagine, because like my brother was in the military, and that sounds a lot like how you're trained there too. Like they really don't back off for you simply because, you're training or anything like that. Like they really kind of throw you in those situations to really kind of press on you, to really kind of get you. I mean,
yes and no. But like the one of my very first relationships was an abusive relationship. Mm-hmm. And so I know what it's like getting into that toxic cycle. The Army, yes, they will put you into a lot of training and they will have you doing some things that you're like, whoa. However, they have safeguards in place, and while accidents can happen, the whole point is not for anyone to be hurt.
Right.
Whereas in this situation, Donovan doesn't care that he's hurting her.
Right.
He's using the training as an excuse to abuse her.
So, do we get some backstory as to why Donovan is like that?
Yes. So, I know a lot of people were getting frustrated with me. This does have a bit of a miscommunication trope. However, and I'm not going to say I did it correctly,
right,
Shelly. But when you have two people who are both traumatized, they're not going to open up. So that whole they can fix everything in one conversation, and that's not going to happen here.
Right.
Like Thea does not even know Donovan's species until the end of the book.
Shelly down in the comments.
Shelly.
She messaged me in all caps, Evelyn Nicole Marie Black.
You got my full name.
I get so many names.
Oh man.
That's not my name.
Well, that's your name now. We need to trademark that. So now every time we read this book and Evie's like, we have that moment, Shelly, you need to send that to us so we can just all spam her.
Yes.
But dare you?
I'm waiting until the 15th, and I'm going to devour Abyssal because I'm waiting ravenously until it is in my clutches.
I'm
finishing Leona this weekend, so I can do it too.
But yeah, like I said, they both have such traumatic experiences in their lives that it makes sense that they're not opening up, especially when they don't treat each other right. Why would I tell you my deepest, darkest secrets when you just tried to kill me?
Well, and I find it refreshing when an author doesn't immediately go to like, these two people are really toxic, but let's make them like a happy-go-lucky relationship. Like, they have to work for it. Like, I give you...
let's make them burn.
Right.
And that's what happens. They both downward spiral. They both try to destroy each other.
Yeah. And that's like you almost have to go through that to be able, and then you have to make that conscious decision where you're like, okay, I want to work through this with this person. Like, I want to go through these dark times. I want to stick it through, and I think I find that isn't done often. And I like it when authors do give that authenticity, because like you as a reader get to kind of go through that with them. Like, you get to experience this journey as they're earning it. Even like with Xandros in Leona, he had to earn it. He was a playboy before. And he admits that. He was like, I never wanted I never wanted to be responsible for anything. Like, I don't care.
I'm second born. Why would I care?
Right, because he always thought his brother was going to take that role, and he's like, I'm fine with it. It means I can just, F
what I
around
want.
and, like, exactly, like, I can have a good time. It's fine. But then, like, he sees Leona, and he's like, damn it. I'm going to have to actually, like, step it up. He's like,
'cause
otherwise...
she doesn't want someone who doesn't give a shit. She needs him to give as much of a shit as she does.
And that's...
Yep.
Like, I think
She don't settle.
Exactly. And I think the best part is like when they do finally go head to head and he's like, no, you're not going to boss me around. We're going to do it my way. And I was like, yes. All right.
Yeah, he needed to be a boss.
Mm-hmm. But you as the reader cannot wait till they get there. And when they do, you're like, all right. I'm okay. I'm here for this. Right. You hit that moment, you're like, okay. But that's the thing. So, like, I'm excited to see this plot progression. But I do have a question. When does Bravos get his story? Look, Bravos is my favorite. I have
Bravos is everyone's favorite.
Like,
Bravos, he gets the subplot for book 4.
Hey,
I need it.
Right. See, Katie agrees with me. He needs his own.
Because we've all been talking about it since we read the first one.
I know. Because Bravos is so.
Because we love it.
Because the thing is like the one thing that I feel like with Bravos is he's probably one of the most underrated characters because he's a big old teddy bear, and the continued Bay thing just still to this day gets me. Like I just melt for that. Okay. I got like, because Shelley would always sit there on her lives and she would like gush about it, and I'm like, what? And then I read it and I'm like, oh, it's so cute. Because it's this big old teddy bear. But the thing that I don't think that Bravos, like you necessarily get right away is like Bravos is actually very intelligent and he's very emotionally intelligent.
Yes,
like he knows what Sebastian needs before Sebastian does. And he's very good at being able to figure out, navigate that while also not being too serious. And I adore that because I always love those characters that are, they're goofy, but when it really is important, they are right there.
Yes. So you are going to get.
What's going on.
What was that?
And they know what's going on, but they're not going to feed into the drama of the situation. They're just there to make sure it goes the direction it needs to go in.
Well, and they let those, like, Bravos especially is very good at letting Sebastian learn. Like, he doesn't give Sebastian the solutions. He helps Sebastian find the solutions, but he doesn't like overpower. Like, he doesn't fix it for him. And I think that's something that you don't always see in the secondary characters, where a lot of times, authors will put that secondary character in there to provide information, to like move plot along, to solve problems so that the main character can solve the bigger problem. But Bravos is like, no, I'm going to let you figure it out, but also like put me in a dick.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's there for support.
Right. And that's because he's one of the Grigori, so like that's what he does. Like that is his job, is to be there for Sebastian. But I do love in book 1 when he's like, yes, I may be here for you, but I also am here for her. Right. Because when both of the Grigori are like, nope, like we love you, but we also really love her too.
And then he gives Sebastian it's all jelly. but you're mine. I was here first. Yeah, we like her more.
Exactly. Like,
sorry, not sorry.
No, I love it.
And I tried doing that. I really wanted to show that as powerful as Sebastian is emotionally, he was still very stunted. And we understand it's a trauma response, understand he isolates and everything, and he never really tried to grow. He did not try to grow. But with everything going on, like, yeah, he could unalive all of them in an instant, but instead he's having a tantrum like a child.
Right.
No, it's my Grigori. It's my movie night.
Don't want to watch this.
Right. No, and I do like that your male characters, you show that they're strong in a fight, but also they can be big babies at times too. But I also like that you have the female characters who come along and they're like, "Nah, you can act like a baby, but I'm going to kick your butt then. That's fine. Like, we can do this." Like, I enjoy that. I have a question though. So when you are, because you are very good at writing fight scenes. You are very good at writing fight scenes. So Evie sits down to write a fight scene. What does she put on? Like, how does Evie get in the mindset of writing a kick-ass fight scene? I'm curious.
I actually can't listen to music or anything. It's very distracting for me.
Really?
Yeah. So it plays in my head like a movie. So I will see what I want to happen. It never ends up on the page as good as it is in my brain. In my brain, there multiple things going on, and they're doing backflips and cool slides and all this stuff. And then I write, and I'm just like, pointy sword goes into tummy. Tons of edits. Tons of edits.
I think that's the process too, because like you have to get the bones out. Like you have to get the bones out, and then you can build the meat around it. Like you can really beef that up, but you have to get the original thought out. Like they go from here and they end up here, and XYZ happens along the way, and then you can go ahead and like fill in all of that. But you do such a beautiful job at it.
I appreciate it. It's hard balancing that introspection with the action, because when you have too much action back to back, like every sentence for the whole chapter is action, right, you get lost. And when you're actually in a fight, you do have thoughts. You are sitting there, oh shit, oh, ooh, that looks like it hurts. Ooh, I don't want to do that. You have all those thoughts. And so it has to be added into the scene.
Right.
Because then it also gives you the reader that tightening of you're like, oh my god, is he going to be okay? Oh no,
Well,
exactly.
I love it because when you write it, you do it in such a great job that you can like see it in your head. Because when I read fight scenes, I have to move it, like I have to do it as I'm reading it. So yep. Like if they're like thrust forward, so I'm like, okay, it goes that way, and then it twists. And then here comes this fist, and I'm just like, I can actually see the play-by-play. With a lot of writers, I've noticed that when they do try to rush those fight scenes or they try to get it in real quick, it's like blur, blur, blur. And I'm like, that wouldn't have really happened. That doesn't make any sense. But with yours, I'm like, I love it.
And I've also, I try to give you enough information while leaving enough of it open that for those of us who can see the pictures in our head, that you fill in the blanks.
Right. So you don't over-explain, but and that's kind of the thing that I like is a lot of times you'll find that authors go one of two ways. Either they're very, very vague, or they explain so much that your brain gets like cluttered with all of the words, and you're like, like you start skimming the scene because it's too much information, but you do a very good job of balancing that information very cohesively, where it's like, I can see, because it's like a dance, right? So like you can see the way that the choreography is like working together and like how this scene is playing out. And you also do a really good job of keeping them within their space. So like I look at when you're building like a fight scene there, like if it was a movie, they would be on a physical set. You do a very good job of keeping them in that space.
That was actually difficult to learn because, and I've noticed that too, where you have multiple people in a scene, but then the author only focuses on one or two. Yes. And so then you're like, what's everyone else doing? Are they just standing there? Yes. What's going on? But then
did you forget about the other ones there?
Right. But then at the same time, you can't stop the action that's happening with your character, the point of view you're in, to tell me a whole page of what someone else is doing, because then I'm like, oh, is the character just standing there watching? Like,
right, yeah. What is happening over there? Yeah. And that's because a lot of times when you have multiple characters, it's very easy to lose other side characters in that scene you know, and then you're, as a reader, you're like, well, what happened to, you know, to this person or this person? Like what, like we set it up, but it's almost sometimes like authors forget that that's there and then they don't follow through with that.
So they forget their placements of things, and then like you'll have they jumped over a table and then they lunged forward, and then it's like, oh no, there's a chair here, and it's like, wait, I thought it was a table.
Yes.
Like, where did the table go? Because they're so focused on just that aspect of it, they like forget about the other things they've said. Yeah, there's no chairs in a fight.
No, it depends on the fight.
That's
right?
true.
Like, give him the chair. Give him the chair.
Give him the chair.
I grew up with
but that's, I think it's...
What?
What
See,
happened?
he's the one.
He's the lagger
Right?
today.
You're the one freezing.
You're lagging.
Am I freezing?
Yeah, you are. Are you on the Wi-Fi?
Oh, I'm gonna switch to the Wi-Fi if that helps.
It might.
Sheesh.
But the thing is like, I think that it's because authors, sometimes we get so focused on the motion, like on the physical motion that's happening, that we lose sight of the information that's going on around us. So like we tend to like lose sight of that part. So then our readers get lost in it. And you're
brilliant.
Yes, you do an excellent job. It's in my mind, it plays off like actual choreography. Like I can see them like moving together, and I think it's beautiful.
Well, thank you.
You're amazing. We love you.
Yes.
Love
So
you
what
too.
has been the biggest thing that you have learned between like the writing and publishing of book 3 versus book 1?
Well, whatever, right? What's that? The law, what can go wrong will go wrong.
Murphy's Law.
So, like with
Murphy's Law.
Thank you. I was gonna say Ripley's, and I'm like, that's Believe It or Not.
Believe it or not.
That's not what I'm thinking. Like with Leona, I made the mistake of putting the pre-orders up through Ingram. And they completely screwed me over. I sold over $400 worth of books. It was like 40 pre-orders. And I got $8.
No.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So I am not putting anything up on Ingram until after release, because I'm
Absolutely.
not like, so my pre-orders are through my website now, especially since Amazon now authors where you schedule the paperback release to order author copies early. So that's what I've been doing. But like with this one, basically everything that I did wrong with Unbalanced and Leona, I did right this time.
Right.
I did not get as many pre-orders. I feel like my marketing, I know you guys are like, your marketing's been on point. I don't necessarily feel that way. I feel like I've kind of flopped this time. But to be fair, I'm, having the spicy sadness. So for all I know, I am knocking it out of the park, and it's just my imposter syndrome. So,
that's fair too.
We see we are our own worst critics. So what you don't see in yourself, others see in you, and we're just like, yeah, and you're like, no.
You're crushing it.
We love Evie's videos.
Yeah, no, I was before the ARCs got sent out. I was seriously in the place where I was like, you know what? If this book doesn't do it, that's it.
I'm excited. Like, I am super excited.
Yeah. Then I had Shelly messaging me, giving me extra names. I had Cassie and Brandy messaging me, and they were like, if you quit, I'm going to hurt you. I'm like, okay.
Right? We're all
You have half a
coming
TikTok coming for you, girl. There's a bunch of us.
We would all
Create a
come for
mob.
you. You're like, ma'am, excuse me, where are you? Where are you? We're waiting.
See, Danielle says that.
Form the mob with your pitchforks and your torches.
Danielle
Come to the
says,
middle of nowhere, and then we can hang out.
Danielle's like, ma'am, no. Sorry, it wouldn't be that nice. It'd be like, what the fuck, Evie? What are you doing? All up in your face.
I come off as real sweet, but if I
She's like, so sweet. Ma'am, how dare you do that? No, that would not be what would happen.
No, I completely get that.
I don't like being called out like this. Like, I don't.
I have little Post-it notes around my laptop or around my monitor because I'm like super mean to myself. I have this one right here. It says, "Stop being a lazy piece of shit and go right." Like, I am so mean to myself.
That's the thing. Like,
motivation is your own thing. Whatever motivates you, do it.
If it gets in your brain and it works for you, like, it's just, don't forget to be kind to yourself too. You know?
No.
It's like I noticed that with you authors, is you do really great when you have those negative things and those like aggressive moments, and then when people are like, "Oh my god, I love your book, it's so great," you're just like, "Hole, bury, hide." And it's like, kindness doesn't work with some of you. Kindness is like the opposite.
Because the thing is we're all prepared for people to tell us that our writing is shit. Like, we are fully prepared. We are like, yes, we know it. Like, when I put out book 1, I was like, this is gonna flop. And then it will affirm all of the things I've been telling myself, and then it didn't, and then you're like, damn it. Well,
like, I am a good writer.
Next book, they're gonna.
It's gonna be the next one, I swear.
I'll get a bad review, and I'll just be like, "Well, that's your opinion," and move on. But then someone's like, "I love your book," and I'm like, "Why?"
You're like, "Which book were you reading? Are you sure it was mine?"
Sorry.
Same essay. I cannot wait. I'm waiting for book 3. I am patiently waiting. I am behaving myself and waiting very nicely.
Comes out Monday. 3 days.
So what is the first thing you're going to do when this is finally published and out in the world? What is the first thing that Evie's going to do?
Sleep. Evie's taking a nap. No, for at least for a little while, I'm still going to have to do some marketing. I can't be like, "Oh, it's done," and then y'all never see me again.
Dude, the bomb starts.
I do. I'm going to be live with Shelly on Chaos and Book Talk.
We're going to be there.
And then I'm also on going to be doing Thirsty Thursday as well. Matt Christensen, if y'all don't know Matt, you need to know Matt. Every time I talk about him, I have to hype him up. He did the audiobook for Unbalanced, and he did such a fantastic job. Like, I will never stop singing his praises.
I was listening to that you talk about that when you were over there with Brian and Samantha, and how, like, you weren't able to finish listening to it, Evie.
Nope, I had to review all the files to make sure there were no mistakes. And I had only found like 2. Allie Dane, she reads it as Andrea May. That's for her adult content. She recorded live, so I was able to, "Oh, hey, you messed that up," immediately. I didn't get to do that with Matt, so I had to review all of his files before we approved it.
He made her feel things.
He did.
He did.
He absolutely did. I am like, look, if it was somebody else's book and I was reading it, I'd be like, "Oh, I'm supposed to feel things." But it's my book. It's my words that are being read to me by another man. And I was like, I am a married woman. I cannot be feeling this.
How dare you, sir? Oh my gosh.
I did. That's what I messaged him. I said, "How dare you?" And he thought he was in trouble. But
I love that.
I told my husband about it, and he was like, "Babe, you have to review those chapters." I said, "No, I don't."
No, I don't have to review.
If there's a mistake, there's a mistake. I don't think anyone's gonna notice.
It's fine.
You'd be like, "Anybody want to review this for me?" You have sacrifice.
To be true to you.
Tribute.
Like, no, I'm gonna have to. Like, is that out yet, or is it?
Yes, the audiobook for Unbalanced is out. It's on Audible. I am in the talks I'm in the talking phase for Leona, but that probably won't get even started until next year.
Those are big projects. It's a very big project.
Hold on.
Yeah, especially when the narrators that you want don't do royalty share.
Right.
Can we just call out the look that Mooney gave Danielle when she stuck her tongue on her teeth like that? All like, I'm sorry, that was amazing. Like that pause, he was like, "Excuse me."
I do.
I mean,
There you go.
see, this is why you gotta call it out like that, Rizzy.
Why? Because you love
She's
me.
been
and that's
doing
what I'm
it
here
all
for.
night.
I was just wondering if we were going to be able to listen to it together.
I mean, I guess.
We can both feel the
I'm about to
things.
get some more kids. That's what's about to happen. I am not responsible.
See, what,
Yeah,
what have
you
you
should-
done, Evie? What have you done?
Before you listen to this, you have to sign like some kind of paper.
waiver.
Evie Black is not responsible for any children born after listening to this book.
No,
I resolved that problem. I
Okay,
figured
so
out
you're
where
good.
the
Feel all the
came from,
fields. Enjoy
and
the
I
fields.
I got it taken care of.
Bye,
Yeah.
Brian.
Bye,
Bye,
Brian.
Oh wait, did Katie say she's leaving too?
I hope not.
Oh no, she said she would have to get that. Is what she said. Okay.
I was like, say what? No,
That's right.
I love audiobooks. Like especially a well produced audiobook is there. I eat them up. I eat them up. I really do.
So we had them do it was not a duet. It was not a duet. So, Matt read
You don't.
everything from Sebastian's point of view. Allie read everything from Lucy, but Matt also did Bravis and Tristan. And he did such a good job on them as well. Like Bravis, you can hear just the jokester in him. And freaking Tristan, he sounds. I told him too. I said I need this guy to sound like a smarmy car salesman, and he fucking delivered.
Smarmy car salesman.
That I love when you have an audiobook narrator because I know Allie, she's the one that I want to do for mine, and because her versatility, hers and Paige's versatility is amazing. Like I
Allie did fantastic, and she was so good. Not just working with the schedule, but she would it was a constant back and forth. Hey, was that good, Evie? Hey, how did you like this? Hey, how did you want this? Like we had a whole Discord video chat before they started to go over character references and accents and all kinds of stuff, and she did freaking amazing.
She is really good. She is really, really good. So I will be very excited when Leona gets put in because I am excited for that one. I have to admit, so far Leona is my favorite. She's
my favorite too.
She has
love
my
the badass
heart.
bear.
Yes.
Oh, speaking of the bears,
Oh,
when I very first started reading it, I loved that you had the black bears. They're like the lazy fat Americans. And then you have your brown bears and your polar bears, and the way you have each group is so great. It's like, no, we don't want to be like the lazy fat American bears. We don't want to have to live off the biker wave and the McDonald's and the corn dogs. We want to get our food our own way.
The thing too. So brown bears and black bears have a lot of territory that cross over. But I really kind of wanted to make that distinction between the American black bear and I got it. Alaska is in America. I am fully aware of that.
Right.
But those bears also go into Canada, so they're usually classified as the Canadian brown bear or Canadian grizzly.
Right.
And they're two different bears. Where American black bear, they're the ones that you see the most because they'll walk right into town and go through your garbage.
Yes. Well, and that's because, and grizzly bears, because up in Wisconsin, that's kind of those territories, they overlap a little bit. So, you know, but yeah, grizzly bears are the ones you don't want to mess with. They're just, they're really not.
No,
but those are my questions. Mooney, you're up next.
I only got just a couple. Because obviously I'm trying to keep the focus on the book coming out.
Mm-hmm.
I want to ask about the unsung hero of the writing process. Is you switched editors from your first two books to your last book. What are the differences in working with Samantha as opposed to the other editor?
So Samantha Moran is freaking amazing. I know I like to go on about how she's so mean, but she did freaking phenomenal. I had, you know, my ARC readers are phenomenal as well. They'll message me, hey, I found a typo. I haven't found one yet. No one's messaged me. I mean, they could have found one and just not said anything, granted, but usually the ones, my returning ARC readers will tell me if they found something or not. But even more so than that is the process. Not throwing shade on my previous editor at all, but she had multiple clients, and so I would have to like schedule a time to speak with her. I would send her the manuscript. She would have it for, you know, a period of time, and then I would get everything back at once. And if I had a question, I had to schedule a time to ask her a single question. And that's how some people operate, and that is fine. That is great. But Samantha Moran like really understood my anxiety. So she actually let me into, we did the edits via Google Docs. And she actually let me sit in there with her while she was doing her edits. We would do 2-3 chapters a day. And so we were just instantly, it felt more like a collaboration where she could instantly ask me a question, or if she suggested a change that I didn't necessarily agree with, we could immediately find a compromise, or I could explain why I wanted it a certain way. Just the constant back and forth talk. She's freaking amazing. And like I said, and she understood my anxiety. There wasn't, well, now I have to wait for a month. She was just like, yeah, see what I'm doing. I don't care if it makes you feel better.
You felt like you had more support. And that's...
Yeah, I wasn't sitting here going, oh my God, she hates it.
No, and that makes a huge difference when you're able to collaborate with your editor.
Yes, she did fantastic.
When you're working as a team and it's strengthening your voice, and you're not having to go back and being like, wait a minute, what was the intent of that scene? And then you have to reread the entire chapter because it's been a month and a half.
Yeah.
You know, so, oh yeah, that's where I was taking it. No, and it's more, I noticed you were more verbal about the editing process with Abyssal. It was just refreshing because I feel that's a process that most indie authors don't really highlight on how it works into the whole writing process. And I love Samantha, so.
Yeah, she did more rearranging of things than she did, hey, get rid of this.
Right.
All of the words in there were my words, with the exception of a couple. I'm sure y'all have done this where you write a word convinced you know what it means. And then someone's like, hey, that's not what that means.
That's not what that means.
Inconceivable.
Yes. With the exception of a few instances like that, it was mostly just like, hey, this sentence should be here. She did not, and that was greatly appreciated because my previous editor was like, through the whole process of Leona, wanted me to tone her down. She shouldn't be swearing. So she shouldn't be this. She should, and I was like, I'm not changing it.
No.
It hit the point where I was like, you know what, just do line copy and proofread. Thank you.
Yeah.
She's supposed to be that way.
But and I recognize that Leona is not for everybody. I even had a few beta readers tell me she's too much. Okay, you just don't like her. Bye.
Yeah, it's not your book. That's okay.
We don't water down strong personalities around here. We embrace and we honor them. People, come on.
I mean, in Samantha Moran for Abyssal, she was just like, you could probably add a few more fucks in here. And I'm like, let's go.
Yeah. That girl.
Because that's the thing is like, I think we're coming into this era where readers and authors are like, you know what? I cuss like a sailor. I probably would make sailors blush. It's fine. Like, so my writing reflects that because I want my writing to be authentic, and I don't want to have to water it down to make people. Because like the thing is if this strong abrasiveness, like if you can't handle it, then the book isn't for you, and that's okay. Yeah. Because the thing is she very much embodies the grizzly bear. Which you wouldn't walk up to a grizzly bear and be like, "Oh, you want to be my friend?" No, the grizzly bear is like, "Get away from me."
I might. Why not friend if friend shaped?
Yeah,
have the cute little ears. Obviously, they're meant to be my friend.
Absolutely. With their big old murder mitts.
Murder
my famous last words will be like, "Oh, Fluffy."
Well, no, it's what I love about it is you've embraced her strengths and didn't let somebody take you and take your art and change it. Nobody went to Picasso and went, that's too much blue, it needs to be red. Dude, it's a freaking night sky. What red are you seeing?
Exactly. And if you wanted your characters to be controlled by an editor, you would have gone with Trad Pub.
And then Samantha, so that's what we love about Samantha, is she took it and she went, oh, no, we need to go darker. We need more shades of this, and we need more shades of that, because your picture is vibrant, and we need it to pop. And that's what we did.
No, she didn't say you needed to add more color. We needed to add more Evie.
There you go. Yes.
And I think that there's something really empowering about that.
We love it.
Yeah, she did amazing. I told her, I was like, "You're my editor for life now." Or at least until she gets sick of me.
Who could get sick of you, Evie? Really?
A lot of people.
She's like, "You want a list? I got it right here."
I do actually have a list of people who can't stand me.
That's okay. We love you.
Well, us three do. We love you.
So you mentioned book 4.
Yes.
You still can see on book 4?
I can. So you've actually met our male main character already in Unbalanced. He is Marcus, the vampire assassin.
Yes!
Yes.
Oh my god! I'm so excited.
It is
wondering
going
what the
to
hell
be
happened
so.
to him.
Yeah, well, so in Unbalanced, Tristan is like, "Hey, come work for me." Guys, like, "No, dude.
Nope.
I don't do exclusivity." Well, Tristan finally figured out a way to force Marcus to work with him. So we're talking vampires. This is going to be a second chance romance. And like I said, Bravis is getting the subplot, and he is also getting a love interest as well.
Yes.
Wait, I don't mean to jump on your bandwagon there, Mooney Boy. Didn't we have another vampire introduced in Unbalanced?
Vaughn, yes, he
and
will
his
be.
Sister was mentioned.
They come into play as well in book 4. They are side characters. Vaughn is going to play a little bit of a bigger role because of things that happen. Vaughn will eventually be getting his own book.
Yay!
But I wanted to, because I introduced him in Unbalanced, and then we see him get captured by Tristan in book 2. So now you're finally going to see what happened with him, what he's been up to, what he's doing, and how he's playing into everything. And like I said, eventually Vaughn will get his own book as well. But this one is going to be Marcus, and our female main character's name is Eleanor.
Oh, yay!
Excited. I'm
Is that a
excited.
69 Mustang?
So that comes out when?
That's going to be next year. I'm about a third of the way with the draft. However, I will say this because we've already talked about it on live.
Mm-hmm.
S.A. Bird, who y'all already interviewed, her characters, Maud and Muse, are making an appearance in book 4.
I'm so excited. I'm still advocating for the two of you to co-write something. I think that if the two of you were to co-write something, it would be epic. I'm advocating.
She's no words. I'm an author. I have no words.
Sorry, I think I froze.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, so S.A. Bird writes a lot faster than I do. She writes a lot faster, and I don't want to hold her up. Plus, my writing schedule, I don't have one. I just kind of write when I feel like writing.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be like, yeah, let's do this, and then she's waiting on me. That's not fair. But what we did do is we're doing cameos. If you read her latest book, Disadvantage, Maud talks about a girl named Elle at Circus Circus. That's Elle from my book, and we will actually see Maud and Muse. Elle works as a cocktail waitress at Circus Circus, what's owned by Maud and Muse. And Maud tells Elle, hey, don't give up. If you need me, call me. But doesn't give her a number.
Right.
Just speak my name into the wind and I will be there.
Disadvantaged is the next one on my list, and I'm like, you guys are killing me, man. Like, I would be if I could, I'd just sit down and read you guys. Like, I would just eat it up. I would just, all day.
I asked about it because I absolutely love when some of my favorite authors do that, where you see characters from another book.
Yes.
And,
I think that's so cute.
Yeah, so I asked if we could do that, and we went back and forth with different scenes and stuff. What do you think of this? Okay, you want it like this, let's change it. I made a character based off of her. So I know so many Samanthas from this app.
Right.
So my husband obviously doesn't know the difference, so I'm just like, Sam. He's like, which one is this one? So I have editor Sam, and then S.A. Bird is Tulsa Sam. But when I started calling her that, she's like, that sounds like Yosemite Sam. And so I have a character named Tulsa Sam who's a car salesman, has the big handlebar mustache and the 10-gallon hat. And
that's amazing.
That. I love that.
I will pass it down.
Oh, honey, I ain't got no questions for you. All I have is praise. And you're brave, and you're brilliant, and you're talented, and you're so damn awesome. I cannot wait for this book. I cannot wait to shout to the rooftops about how amazing the Shadow Daddy and his girl are. Honey,
did I show you the character art?
Yes, I've seen that. It's so pretty.
We've seen plenty.
Yes,
it's
I want.
Beautiful.
I can't wait.
TikTok where you're like, you gave your artist like a stick drawing.
Yeah, your little stick.
He came up with this, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yes,
Yep.
yes.
Nope,
I have it here too. Where is it? Sorry, my desk's.
Yes.
Yes.
I love it.
That was the reference sketch.
Yeah,
I actually had people message me asking if I'll sell the character art, and I was just like, yeah, it comes with the, when you purchase a signed copy. They're like, no, your character.
Yeah, I want the original.
Why would you want that?
Right,
why not?
Easy. Like
I would put it in a frame next to my bookshelf and be like, I have an original Evie Black in literature and physical.
See?
Yeah, no, I have no questions. I have only praise.
Really quick at drawing that, and then when you sign your name in Abyssal, draw that picture real quick.
There you go. That'll just be your new signature. Just that picture. Turn it into a stamp. No, I'm looking forward to getting it.
Down in the comments have questions. Yes. They can start putting it in the chat.
No,
I know
all the praise.
Katie was one of your ARC readers.
All the love.
So she's excellent at asking questions. We love her so much.
Oh, I do have one question though. If I buy your books and send them to Mooney, can he spray edge them for me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you buy the book, then it's yours to do with as you please.
I know, but I
just can't resell it.
I'm never reselling.
Right.
Are you kidding me? I have 2 copies of Danielle's book, the first one, and they're both signed. They're not going anywhere.
No.
Just stay
Well, as soon as I get money, I'm having Mooney do the sprayed edges so I can sell them on my website.
Mine stays on my shelf and be
I
pretty.
need money
Guess
first.
what? Those, like, whatever the two of you come up with are going to be epic. Absolutely epic. I'm
gonna leave that up to him because he's the artist. Because I'd be like, I mean, y'all saw this, right?
Give us
That's what
a
I'm putting on
reference,
it.
right?
That's what I'm
Yeah,
putting
that's
on
what
it.
we're gonna see on the side of it.
You're gonna put on the cover
Yes!
on the side.
Yes!
Let's go for it.
You just flip the pages and it's just like, la.
That's what we should do. We should have a flip book.
I was just thinking the same thing, Evie. Like, just little, like, right at the corner there, just have it be like a flip book.
I should do that my next book.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes, that would be amazing. That would be amazing.
Yeah, I don't think we have any questions though, my dear. Do you have your Mad Lib ready to go so we can dive?
I have it right here. Best believe. Because we didn't get to do this with Evie last time. Last time we used one of the, like, non her book Mad Libs.
That's what we just did the random.
Believe, like, I was like, I am on it. Okay. Are we ready for the Mad Lib? I'm excited for this one. All right. We're going to start with you, Miss Evie. I need a verb ending in ED.
Boned.
Boned?
Oh wait, hold on. What was the rule? 1 smelly and no buttons, Mooney. Male or female.
But there's no
pelvic mound. Pelvic mound, seriously?
What are you
We're
going to
gonna
do
list
about it?
all the words you can't say.
Don't
What are you
let her
gonna do
tell you
about
what to do.
What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, what are you gonna do about it? We'll
I'll
see.
do it.
Go.
All right, Rizzy, body part.
Weenus.
Good choice.
All right.
Don't shake your head at me.
Mooney, body part.
Anus.
Ah, very nice.
This is gonna be. I said boned, and she said weenus, and now this is gonna be great.
If I get bananaed, I'm gonna be so mad. All right, Evie, body part.
I'm
Let's
interested to see
go
what
with
C you
let's go with toe.
pick.
Whatever you do, don't smell the
Verb
toe.
ending in ED.
Verb ending in ed. Licked.
Oh, Mooney.
Okay. Hold on, Danielle, breathe.
I see. Now I'm getting scared. I'm watching her. I'm getting scared.
If she doesn't breathe, she's gonna start talking at a pitch that only dogs can hear her. We are not gonna know what she's saying.
Be nice. It's
I love you. I love you.
What's that?
An adjective.
And that
only be
is
Describing word.
like smelly?
That's your one.
That works.
One.
It does work. Okay. Adverb ending in ly.
Adverb. That's to describe something, right? Lovingly.
Smelly.
All right, Rizzy, another adjective ending in ed.
Punched.
Lovingly punched someone. That sounds like Leona.
She's like, yeah.
It's my love language.
Silence.
Mooney, verb ending in ed. Verb is an action.
Ending in ed. We'll go with jumped.
Okay.
Adverb, Evie.
Gross.
Gross.
Yep.
Okay. All right, Rizzy, verb ending in ed.
Oh God, I gotta think of something. Ooh, plucked. Like plucked.
Fuck. Mooney, verb.
What's the verb?
Action.
Sucked. Does that work?
It's an action.
Or does it need to be sucking?
Sure.
He plucked and sucked.
A verb, Evie.
Cry.
Cry.
Plucked and sucked and cried.
Adjective.
Oh. Adjective. Let's see. Purple.
Purple.
In honor of the book.
Noun.
Button.
Oh my God. Terrible.
Okay. Adverb.
I love how she looks around too. We all
I
do
know,
it.
like, I swear I'm an author. I swear I know words. Angrily.
Angrily.
Very nice.
Okay. Last one is yours, Rizzy.
Oh, wait, no.
Verb.
Katie.
Oh, Katie. Katie, give us a verb ending in ing.
Yeah, Ember did it too. Ember's like, wait, what? What can I find around me? Let's see what Katie comes up with.
I'm excited because this one's gonna be interesting because like the parts like the sections that I had to pull from.
Wait, Katie. What was it? A verb ending in ing?
Yeah.
Come on, Katie. We put her on the spot, and she's like, "Wait, what?"
Right. Walking.
Very good. Good job, Katie.
All right. Are we ready? I don't think you guys are ready. And if I get bananaed, I'm blaming it on me. All right.
I got mildly big shoulders.
No, you're not allowed to yell at me if I can't breathe, Rizzy. Okay.
I won't yell. I'll just laugh. Is that better?
All right. So Xandros boned her weenus again as his anus found the opening to her toe.
Yes.
He licked forward and she let out a smelly moan as he lovingly punched her. She clung to him as he jumped to gross her, but she plucked more. She wanted to suck him, cry, purple,
Breathe.
her with all his button. Angrily, Leona begged, wanting it as it was before. Xandros shook his head above her. No, we're going to do this right this time. No walking. But I need, she mewed. But he cut her off with a snarl. I know what you need, he growled.
Apparently, weed isn't co-anus.
Said you need to read Leona because it was epic. Absolutely epic.
Lovingly punched. It worked out, and I love it.
My favorite.
You know, I've
You need to
said
figure
that
out
I'm
where the
never
toe opening
changing. I'm gonna need you to send that to me because I said I was never gonna change a single word in this book, but I might have to now.
I mean, if I don't see boned the weenus in one of your books, I don't know
Who's the toe found the opening anus.
Challenge accepted. My friend Jen. My friend Jen is a big Shrek fan. Is a
Oh,
big
I think I've seen
Shrek
her.
fan.
Didn't she do the redo Shrek book or something?
No, it was, Jenny just reads. Okay. But here it is. She was like, I bet you won't put this in your book. So I said,
oh my dear.
On page 169, I like that boulder. That's a nice boulder. Just because she said I wouldn't do it. So I got you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You are welcome. I will type it up all beautiful and I will send it to you because that was
fantastic.
I really thought we were going to get bananered for a second there because we were getting real close right off the bat. I was like, oh man. Because this is my favorite part because I can see what it's going to read and I'm like, oh my god.
Katie called it. Katie's like, it's going to be good because Daniel can't breathe halfway through writing this Mad Lib.
I worked very hard to breathe.
You do. You do great.
My cheeks hurt from laughing.
That's too much fun.
Every time I come on this show.
But that's a good thing. That's a good thing. That means we did what we were meant to do. No, I looked up after reading the first line and Evie's gone and I'm like, did she leave? Where did she go?
I was doubled over laughing.
We broke her.
Even Samara thought she was a few times.
She's gone.
I have expired.
Right. I mean, at least you went out laughing.
Yes.
This is good.
Best way to go.
Love it.
That's what we have tonight. If you guys haven't ordered Abyssal yet, please go do it now because it's going to be amazing. Leona was fantastic. Abyssal is the third book in the series, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. I cannot wait. We've got Shadow Daddy. We've got Morally Gray. We've got the whole package, and I cannot wait to devour it.
These are still on sale on my website. I'm selling the signed copy with the character art bookmarks and stickers for $15.99 on my website.
Ooh, that's a good deal.
I know what we're doing when we get done with this live. Yes, Mooney? Yes?
You need to start sharing your Wi-Fi and let me touch the picture.
and let him touch the bookshelves.
I will share my Wi-Fi if you let me.
We need to come up with a custody agreement then over the book.
Because it'll be half his book.
My shelf?
Half the week it goes on his shelf, half the week it goes on yours.
No. You buy one, I buy one, that's fine.
We'll discuss it later.
We'll discuss the agreement.
It needs some Abyssal.
We'll have to see how well you phone my weenus.
Oh man, we're too bad. We're getting
I get to lovingly punch you too, just fine.
Katie, we broke Katie too. We can't do that.
I can't
Don't
breathe,
break-
you guys.
See, when you come on here, it's never a dull time, is it? It's never dull.
It's always fun.
All right. Are there any questions for our amazing Miss Evie Black, who we adore so much?
The brilliantly talented author Evie Black.
Thank you.
Yes.
Wait, what did Shelley call you? Evelyn Nicole.
Evelyn Nicole Marie Black.
I love it. Okay, Evelyn Nicole Marie Black. I'm slowly saving that.
I am. I'm writing it down.
Thank you.
Because if you doubt yourself one time, we are going to make it a whole thing where it is Evelyn Nicole Marie Black.
Wait. We gotta add another one in there. It would be Marie Sue.
Marie Sue.
Marie Sue. Evelyn Nicole Marie Sue Black.
Y'all just gonna keep adding names.
Why are we adding another name?
Right, I'm curious too. Where did that come from?
Because the more names you have, the more in trouble you are.
Oh, that's true.
He gets it.
Right, but eventually it gets to a point where like
No, it doesn't matter.
No.
You get to the end and you're like, I don't even remember what I was mad about. You know?
That's okay. Maybe it gets Evie out of trouble, but there will be none of that. Lots of trouble, all caps, bold letters.
Yep, absolutely.
Marie Sue Joe. There. Now I just added another one. I'm getting that much more angry.
I'm gonna ground you, Mooney.
I got 2 weenuses.
Oh my goodness. You guys are silly.
All right, you guys. Well, I hope everybody had fun.
I had an amazing.
I appreciate you coming on, Evie. I love you so much.
You having me back.
You're amazing.
Always. Every time.
All right.
We will always have you back.
And we will be here on the 15th rooting you on because you are amazing. Abyssal is amazing, and we love you so much.
So great. Love.
Love
All right,
y'all.
you guys have a good night. Thank you for hanging out. We love
Bye, guys.
you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.